Yeah, today we are going to discuss vocabulary exercise uh, titled as synonyms and antonyms. If you just look at the words, syno means same, nym, nym, nym means word. So synonym means a word which has got the same meaning is called synonym. And similarly, anti means opposite. Antonym, nym is a word. So a word which has got opposite meaning is called antonym. So it is very important for anyone to improve one's vocabulary in order to speak fluently. When somebody is attempting to speak in English very fluently and perfectly, first thing that he has to take care of is vocabulary. So one of the ways of improving one's vocabulary is to learn as many synonyms and as many antonyms as possible, because the benefit that you have while learning synonyms is that you will come in contact with so many words for the same word. Say for example, let us take the word beautiful. So beautiful, handsome, good looking, dainty, charming, gorgeous, pretty, okay, and so on. So these are all different words that we use. So when you try to learn the synonym of the word, what you say, beauty, you are coming in contact with gorgeous, pretty, charming, good looking, handsome, beautiful, dainty, and attractive, and so many. So of that kind, we will come in contact with such kind of words. So that is one advantage. Thereby your vocabulary improves like anything. And similarly, when you learn the antonyms also, you'll be able to learn what is exactly the opposite word of this. For example, beautiful, what is the opposite of it is ugly. So when you learn the word ugly, okay, suppose a tidy is there, untidy. So when you learn a word which is quite opposite to it in meaning, the advantage that you have is you are learning a different word to express in a different situation. That is one way of improving one's vocabulary. But if you just look into the synonyms and antonyms, though we say synonyms are the words which have got the equivalent meaning or the same meaning, is it true? Do you mean to say, have you ever wondered that any two words have got the same meaning? If so, why should there be two different words? Suppose two words which have got exact meaning, then why should there exist two words unnecessarily? One word can be deleted from the language. So, in this context, let us remember George Bernard Shaw. George Bernard Shaw, what he said was, there are no antonyms and synonyms in any language. There are no synonyms and antonyms in any language. Every word has got its own meaning, and every word has got different shades of meaning that we have to understand. Don't try to equalize two words saying that, okay, what is beautiful? Beautiful means good looking. Good looking is different. Beautiful is different. Handsome is different. Say for example, handsome is used for men, beautiful is used for women, whereas good looking can be used for both. You can use it for men as well as for women. Good looking, that is the advantage that you have. And as well, handsome can also be used for women. How? When they have got very good behavior, good manners, very decent behavior and all that, we can say she is really handsome. it doesn't apply only to her physical beauty, her internal beauty as well. Then you can say she's handsome. Of course, what happens is in our Indianized society, especially Indian society, where people have got very little knowledge of English, when you use handsome for women, immediately they laugh at you. Come on, she doesn't know that it should be used for men. So when you have got that shade of meaning, deeper meaning of that word, people laugh at us. That is the danger that we have. So that's one thing. And similarly, you have some more words. Let me say, when you are dealing with manners, you say charming. She is very charming. He is very charming. When somebody has got very good manners, mannerisms, you can say he is very charming. And similarly, you can use gorgeous. Gorgeous is highly exaggerated term, highly hyperbolic in tone. Only when you feel that highly beautiful that you have to use this word, then only you have to say, oh, gorgeous. You can't simply waste this term gorgeous everywhere when somebody is only beautiful. Pretty is little, less than beautiful, I can say. When somebody is not that beautiful, just slightly attractive, you can say she is pretty. Usually for young girls we use, for kids we use this term. So that's why every word has its own meaning. That's what George Bernard Shaw says. Don't say there are antonyms and synonyms. There are no antonyms and synonyms. Every word has got its own equal and opposite meaning. That's what you have to understand and use. Say, for example, we have two words, discover and invent. Invent something is to find something which has not been found before. To find something which has not existed before. Suppose a television. Television has been invented because it has not been there before. First of its kind, a scientist has invented. Discovered. India has been discovered. America has been discovered. These countries were there already. But when those sailors have come, they have identified that there exists a country. That's why it is called a discovery. That's why it is entitled Discovery Channel. Discovery Channel means it's already there. You don't know. You are coming to know it for the first time. That's why it's a discovery for you, not invention. If you try to find something or invent something which has not existed before, then it is called invention. So invention and discovery has got two different meanings. But people try to use them almost synonymously, which is wrong. So let us not try to use words of that kind. Say, for example, buy and purchase. Buy can be used for even simpler things. Buy a pen, buy a book, buy provisions, buy something. But when you buy something costlier, purchase a car, purchase a house, purchase jewelry. When something is very costly, expensive, you will use the word, purchase. Similarly, you can also, there are so many words of that kind. So what we are trying to do is, first of all, let us try to understand the little history behind this. If you try to understand these different sources of English vocabulary, then you will understand the history. See, what happens is, English, if you don't mind, has been termed as a bastard language. It has been termed as a bastard language because it has been derived. So many words have been taken into this language. This language is not of its own. It has been assembled, just like TV set is assembled with the different parts of different companies. A system is assembled with the different parts of different companies. Similarly, then it becomes a TV or it becomes a laptop, it becomes computer for you to see, but all the parts belong to different segments and different companies. Similarly, English language is such that it has been derived. Actually, so many words have been taken from different languages, especially Germanic languages, the languages which are spoken in Germany, and the Latin based languages, especially Latin and French. So, though people say English is a Germanic language, but what happens is it has a large number of words from French and Latin. How many words? I can say, according to one estimate, 29%, around 30% of the words are from Latin. Another 30% of words are from French. Only 26% are from Germanic languages. How much it has come to? 30 plus 30 plus 60 plus 26, 56. I can say 54%. No, I'm sorry, 60, 86. It means 84% of the words are derived from various languages like Latin, French, and German. Then where is English? Where is English? So 84% of words have been taken from different languages only. That's why, at times you find it very difficult to pronounce English words also. The spelling of English is very difficult. The pronunciation is also different. The meaning also, unless you know the etymology, unless you know its original meaning of the Latin, French language, you won't be able to understand it properly and use it, because actually they have been taken from that language. So that's what you have to keep in mind. If you ask me, only from Greek, 6%. So 84% is already over, 6% from Greek, and the remaining 10% are also from all other languages, including Sanskrit. Including Sanskrit. The words which have been very widely used have been taken. Say, for example, the words like bungalow. It is our Hindi word, Bangla. Bungalow and court. Similarly, dacoit, డకాయిట్లు మనం తెలుగులో యూజ్ చేసే వర్డ్ బందిపోట్లు, డకాయిట్లు. So that word has been taken into English. It has become dacoit. And one more word, jungle. Jungle means forest, a thick forest. See, in Hindi we use it jungle. That word has been taken from Hindi. Jungle has been taken, court has been taken, dacoit has been taken, bungalow has been taken. Recently, shampoo has been added, and the latest edition of Oxford Dictionary has added the word cheddi, because it's very widely used, cheddi. That's why it has been taken into English also. So we have a word called cheddi. If you just check it, CHEDDI in English, you are able to find it today. So 10% of the words have been taken from Hindi and various other regional languages and all that. Then where is the identity for English language? Tell me. All the words have been taken from different languages, and it has become a language of its own. And never ever English is its own. That's why there are so many issues with English language learning. As far as writing, spelling, speaking, pronunciation, there are so many issues. Today, if you see, you have two major styles. One is American, the other is Britain. So American people argue that Britain is not the mother of English language. That's why we don't accept its identity. We're not going to copy that language, and we will have our own style. That's why their spelling is different, their grammar is different, their pronunciation is different, their usage is different, their slangs are different. That's how you are able to find difference between American English and British English today. So this is very important for us to understand how English language has come into force. Just like our Telugu, Hindi, Urdu, Arabic, these are all own languages. There's no issue. Of course, maybe 10% of words must have come into this language from other languages and all that in its own, in a course of time. That's a different story to think of. But what is majorly important is it a language of its own or not? Coming to English, English is never a language of its own. That's why it is called a bastard language. Okay. So that's why what happened was, see, some words have been taken from German, some words have been taken from French, some words have been taken from Latin. That's why there is a clash. What is that clash? Sometimes, one word from German, one word from Latin have been taken with the same meaning. Say, for example, let us take the word answer. Answer is a Germanic word and response is a Latin word. Both of them exist in English language today. If you ask me the difference between answer and response, we cannot say. Please respond. Please answer. What's the difference? The difference is answer is Germanic, respond is only Latinate. That's it. Similarly, let us see ask, Germanic, inquire, Latinate. Begin, Germanic, commence is Latinate. Big is Germanic, large is Latinate. Similarly, help is Anglo-Saxon and aid is Old French. Weep, Anglo-Saxon, cry, French. Forgive, Anglo-Saxon, pardon, French. So forgive, pardon, help, aid, cry, weep have almost got the same meaning. If you ask me the difference, I can't tell you because these are words from different languages that have come into English. Thereby, there is a clash. Two words are existing. They may not have difference in the meaning. With the same equal meaning, they are existing. That is what you have to understand. That is one issue that you have to understand before trying to learn synonyms and antonyms. One more thing is French and Latin words, they entered the English language that we have just now. Because why this French and Latin words have entered English? Because English speaking Anglo-Saxons, English speaking people, countries were invaded and ruled by French speaking people. Of course, later Britain also colonized and ruled all the countries in the world. That's a different story. Well, before this, what happened? Britain also was ruled by French. So when it was ruled by French, then for hundreds of years it was ruled by French and French especially. So that's why this Latin and French words have entered English language. Just like English entered India, because Britain colonized India. That's why today English words have come, English language has come, and we are struggling to learn English language because those people have come and taught us this language. Otherwise, we wouldn't have worried about this language at all today. That is one problem. So later in a course of time, as you know, that Britain also colonized many countries. Thereby, what happened? Wherever it went, it adopted some words into its language, Britain. Just like I told you, some Hindi words also have been taken into, just like bungalow, dacoit, court. Okay, these words have been taken into English word because wherever they ruled, some words they had to learn and they anglicized those words. They have taken them into their language. That's how English language, I can say, is an assembled set. It's an assembled set. So although it is common to say that, so generally we say synonyms are the phrases or words which have got the same meaning, and antonyms are the ones which have got opposite in meaning and all that. Of course, we have a definition, but what happens is there is all this history why there exist different words, because there is a clash, one thing. And second thing is that many words have been taken into this particular language. That is one aspect. And now, as George Bernard Shaw has already told us that there are no antonyms and synonyms, Every word has got its own shade of meaning, its own deeper meaning that we have to understand. That's why I just told you one word: beautiful, handsome, good looking, pretty, charming, and gorgeous, and so on. So each word has a different meaning. That's why we have to understand this well before going to synonyms and antonyms. Now today, let us just see some words. For example, she looked pretty. She looked pretty in the fancy dress. So here, actually, she looked pretty. Pretty means just beautiful, looking good looking. You can say she's looking good. Oh, pretty. Your dress is pretty, pretty good. Like that. The china cups were brightly colored and dash, bony and dainty. Dainty means beautiful. The china cups were brightly colored and dainty. Dainty means looking very gorgeous, very bright and beautiful. So here the choice between dainty and bony. Dainty is beautiful. Disappointment was writ large on his dash face. Beautiful face, handsome face. You can answer, ma. Disappointment was writ large on his dash beautiful or handsome face. What's the answer? Handsome or beautiful for a man?
Handsome.
Handsome. So, handsome face. The design on the hand woven shawl was exquisite, ravishing. Ravishing. Ravishing means very beautiful. The celebrations were followed by dash fireworks display. He has given two words. One is spectacular, the other is delectable. Spectacular. Fireworks are always spectacular, which gives a lot of enjoyment to the eyes, is called spectacular. Like a rainbow, a sunset, a sunrise, a beautiful snowy day. Looks so beautiful for us. Then we say it is spectacular. The sunrise at Kanyakumari is beguiling, gorgeous. What do you choose? Beguiling or gorgeous? Gorgeous. Because the sunrise at Kanyakumari, that's why many people prefer to go to Kanyakumari to see sunrise. It is gorgeous. The peacock is a very showy bird with resplendent plumage, comely plumage, resplendent. See, if you just look at what to say, the plumage of the peacock, it looks so colorful. Each feather of the peacock is tipped with an alluring or iridescent eye spot. So, iridescent means each feather of the peacock is tipped with an eye spot. Maybe I too have to check this word, iridescent. See, at times we find some very rarely used words also. This is one of its kind. The handmade chocolates were dazzling, delectable. Delectable. The handmade chocolates were delectable. See, all these words which we are talking about more or less belong to the beauty only. So you have so many words: pretty, dainty, beautiful, handsome, ravishing, spectacular, gorgeous, resplendent, iridescent, delectable, alluring. The village by the sea offers alluring shops and restaurants. Alluring means which tempts you so much. Benares presents dash maze of narrow streets. Picturesque, picturesque, with so pictorial, you can say, picturesque beauty we say. So similarly, I will just read out some sentences. You tell the opposite. Dog is a faithful animal. Dog is a faithful animal. What is the opposite of faithful? I mean, I'm sorry, we are talking about synonyms only. Faithful, another word can you say? First, I shall read out all the words present here. Vacant, weak, awful, historic, complete, polite, baffling, secure, loyal, annoyed. I repeat, vacant, weak, awful, historic, complete, polite, baffling, secure, loyal, and annoyed. These are the words. Now you see, dog is a faithful animal. What is the synonym of faithful?
Loyal.
Loyal. Yeah. Next one. The man was old and looked frail. Frail. F-R-A-I-L. Frail. Frail means weak. Frail means weak. Another word is weak. Being courteous costs you nothing. Courteous. There was one word which is
Kind.
no. Courtesy. Being courteous means being very. There was one word.
Polite.
Polite. Polite. Very good. Next. The huge mansion looked empty.
Vacant.
Vacant. Very good. The police ensured that the street was safe. Safe. I repeat some words. Polite, baffling, awful, secure, loyal.
Secure.
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 Right. Yes. He was bothered by loud music.
No.
Bothered. He was bothered. Bothered means annoyed. He was annoyed.
Yeah.
The juggler's tricks were confusing.
Awkward.
Yeah, awful, awful.
Awful.
Yeah. The city was hit by a terrible storm. A terrible storm.
Baffling.
I'm sorry. The juggler's tricks were confusing, right? So for
Yes.
confusing, baffling. Confusing, baffling. Terrible storm, awful storm. Terrible, awful. Confusing, baffling. Baffling. Yes. Next. A huge crowd had gathered on the momentous occasion. Momentous occasion. I have used one word. Awful, baffling, secure, annoyed, complete, historic. Momentous.
Historic.
Historic. This is not an exhaustive list of synonyms. Exhaustive. Historic, annoyed, awful, secure, complete.
Complete.
Yeah, exhaustive means complete. Okay, so that's how we should be able to identify the word. Now, in the following sentences, identify two words that have a similar meaning. I'll just read out the sentence. You tell me the similar meaning, the similar words. If I do my normal work, I will get my regular salary.
Normal, regular.
Normal, regular. Yes. You throw the ball to the dog, it will toss it back.
Throw, toss.
Throw, toss. Yes. You will find your way if you stay on the right path.
Way, path.
The stuntman leaped on into the air and jumped over the fire.
Stunt, jump.
No. Leaped. Leap means jump. Leaped into the air and jumped over the fire. If you listen carefully, you can hear the bird's song.
Listen and hear.
Yeah. The gloomy day was marked by dark clouds.
Gloomy, dark.
Yes. His hourly wages are higher than my monthly salary.
Wages and salary.
Wages and salary.
Yes. The car's engine was noisy and the horn was loud.
Noisy and loud.
Noisy, loud. Loud.
A gang of robbers disappeared into the crowd.
Gang and crowd.
Yes. Tread cautiously when you walk in the garden.
Sir?
Tread cautiously when you walk in the garden.
Tread and walk.
Tread and walk. Treadmill means treadmill, where you walk. Yes. Now let us see some antonyms. Antonym means what? It is exactly opposite.
Opposite.
Yeah. Now I'll read out the words first. You just remember: praised, welcomed, biased, wonderful, explicit, notorious, early, rough, secure, handy. These are the words. I repeat: praised, welcomed, biased, explicit, wonderful, notorious, early, rough, secure, and handy. Now, the fabric was very smooth. What is the opposite?
Rough.
Smooth and rough.
Rough.
Yeah. The desert was awful. The desert was awful. Awful means very bad. What is its opposite? I have used the word wonderful.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah. Monsoon arrived late this year.
Early.
Early. The umpire's decision was fair. Fair.
Biased.
Biased. His inaction shows his tacit understanding. Tacit. Tacit means very handy. Tacit support. When the government changed, his position became precarious.
Curious.
Precarious, very risky. What is its opposite? Risky opposite? Secure.
Secure.
The teacher berated the students for their performance. Berate means underpraise.
Praise.
Praise.
Praised. Yes. The map is very inconvenient.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Explicit. Inconvenient. This is explicit. Big cities are becoming famous. Famous, notorious.
Notorious.
The leader expelled the new entrant. Expel means to throw somebody out is called expel. What is it?
Welcome. Welcome.
Well,
Welcome.
now some more. While more schools should be established, child labor should be. See, while more schools should be established, child labor should be abolished. Establish, abolish. Okay?
Polished.
Yeah. Similarly, when the army advances, the enemy retreats, goes back. Only fools are vain. Wise people remain modest. Wise people always remain modest, whereas only fools are always proud. Natural dyes are eco-friendly. Dash ones are harmful. Synthetic ones. Synthetic ones are harmful, right? Sometimes the lazy ones prosper and the dash ones suffer. Lazy ones, diligent, hard-working people suffer. Lazy people prosper. The survival rate of indigenous plants is better than that of exotic one. Indigenous, native, exotic, outside. Next one. Many former heroes now live in Oblivion for public memory is short. Oblivion means forgetting. Statistics are often used not to reveal, but to conceal. Reveal, conceal. Similarly, the vegetables were pretty, although marketed as fresh. The vegetables were pretty stale. Stale opposite na fresh and stale. Neither defeats
Yes,
nor
sir.
victory should affect us. Triumph. Triumph means victory. Okay, I think our time is over. Maybe within a second or so, this will go off. And we'll see some more, another lesson in the next class, ma'am.
Okay,
Okay,
sir.
sir.
Okay, sir.
It's going to stop now.